Okay, we shall start. So, good afternoon, sir, and my fellow classmates. I am Noor Farah Izzati from Group 1, which consists of my other group members, Nicole, Goshen, Yeke, and Yakub. Our group will be presenting on option 2, which is a case study on Mark Cuban. There will be a total of 5 questions, and each of us will be presenting one. So, moving on. Before we jump into the questions, let's answer the main one. Who is Mark Cuban? So Mark Cuban, born on July 31st, 1958 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is no stranger to the entrepreneurial world, as he is one of the most successful businessmen around the globe. He is also known as the zealous owner of the NBA's Dallas Mavericks, which is an American professional basketball team based in Dallas. Cuban's earliest business venture occurred at the tender age of 12 when he sold sets of garbage bags to save up for a pair of expensive basketball shoes. While he was in school, he did plenty of odd jobs, which included bartending, disco dancing instructor, and party promoter. He made his fortune through sales of startups, which are MicroSolutions and Broadcast.com in the 1990s. So moving on to the questions, I'll be answering the first question, which states personality is a relatively stable set of traits that aids in explaining and predicting individual behavior. So what are some of the Mark Cuban's traits that can explain his behavior during Mavericks games? So traits represent structure of habits, which is an individual and are not construction of observers, as they are product of both genetic dispositions and experiences. So Mark Cuban is known to have a unique set of personality traits which have benefited him in his lifetime. He is energetic, highly moving, carries a positive attitude, and has an impeccable leadership style. So Cuban did not grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth, which provided a tremendous impact on how he views his life, as he knows how to make something out of nothing. With his trademark enthusiasm, Cuban revamped the whole culture of the Dallas Mavericks team and its roster, erecting a new stadium and pampering his players. So he is passionate, which it brings about his whatever it takes attitude, and committed to the team, which he goes above and beyond for by providing them with the best lockers and the best treats them like family and the very best to accommodate him. So online and offline, Cuban is an unfiltered force of opinion. He has a bombastic personality among the inner circle of the ownership in the NBAs. There were plenty of instances in which Cuban received fines for various league violations. So Mark Cuban is a philanthropist, which he matched the fines given to him into donations towards various of charities. So despite Mark Cuban reaching an incredible level of success, he remains humble and he opens himself to new ideas. He mentions being an avid reader and he will go through hours of reading books every day just to get ideas to propel him to the next level. So Mark Cuban is not just in it for the profits when it comes to business. He also brings innovation. He was the first NBA team owner to launch a personal blog consisting of a swirling mix of his own technology insights and thoughts on NBA football. So moving on to the question 2.
Thanks, Farah. Good morning, good afternoon, sir. My name is Yek and I'll be presenting for the second question. Also, I'm not able to on my camera while I'm sharing the slide, so I'll be presenting for the second question being, would you describe Mark Cuban as a type A or type B personality type? I would describe Mark Cuban as a type A personality type because for the most part of the case study, it mentions that he is very passionate and motivated to ensure the Dallas Mavericks receive support. For example, in a case study, he encouraged his team very well and yelled at the opposing team. This shows, relating to the Myers-Briggs type indicator, that Mark Cuban isn't laid back at all. Instead, he is very hard driving has a strong sense of competitiveness and is also preoccupied with work. Personality type is mainly the degree to which stresses affect us. Type A personality, being the contradictory of type B personality, can be defined as a complex pattern of behaviors and emotions that includes an excessive emphasis on competition, aggression, impatience, and hostility. The Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator is known to be a self-report inventory designed to identify a person's preferences, strengths, and most importantly, their personality type. Isabel Myers, along with her mother Catherine Briggs, formed the questionnaire based on their work with Carl Jung's personality types theory. Up until this day, the MBTI inventory is one of the most popular psychological instruments used worldwide. Mark Cuban became a self-made billionaire and gained popularity due to his astounding entrepreneurial skills and associating self with achievements thanks to his personality of being highly focused on his goals. Instead of being easygoing and following the usual advice of follow your passion that we often receive from our parents, Mark Cuban decided to put in all his efforts to endeavor all that he has achieved up until now. Although he may be often viewed as rude for not paying fines or dressed appropriately for occasions, these are traits of a person portraying the Type A personality. Mark Cuban does not express the Type B personality's traits such as having laid-back attitude. I say so because he had good intentions for and even better outcomes from what he has done. For example, being as stated in the case study, he would pay the fines but let the money go into the hands of the less fortunate. This shows how compassionate and caring of a man that Mark Cuban was. When it comes to illustrating a great deal of leadership, once again as stated in the case study and being a very visible trait of Type A personality, Mark Cuban escalated the winning percentage of his NBA team from 40% to an astonishing 69%. Other than that, he also had a tendency of multitasking the organized habit of prioritizing his work first and doing his job while simultaneously reading, viewing, and updating his emails from the message application of CyberDust that he uses. That will be all from me, and now I'll be passing the time to Goshen.
Hello, Mactess. All right. Thank you, Yake, and good afternoon, sir. And I am Goshen, and I will be presenting about case study question 3. The question asked is, why is Mark Cuban described as someone with an internal locus of control? Now, let me explain what the locus of control is. Locus of control is a two-dimensional personality classification method. There are two types of locus of control. They are the external locus of control and internal locus of control. First, let's talk about what external locus of control is. People with an external locus of control, also known as externalizers, believe that they have little control over their performance and are close to new experiences. In other words, they believe that their life is determined by chance, fate, or any other outside forces. Externalizers are usually laid back, lazy, and have a negative attitude towards most things that happen in their life, and ultimately blame it on fate or luck. Next, I'm going to talk about the internal locus of control. And people with an internal locus of control, who are also known as internalizers, believe that their lives are primarily the result of their own actions. On simpler terms, internalizers believe that they are in charge of the events that occur in their lives, and internalizers are usually hardworking who put their utmost efforts to achieve their goals and hold a positive mindset towards things that occur in their life. So, why is Mark Cuban described as a person with internal locus of control? There are a few reasons as to why. And first, he is always in control of his life. His success comes from the effort that he has put in for his business. And this means that he has the ability to control his own success and the ability for him to put in his utmost effort for determining his own success in both his life and his business. Now, Mark has been selling various kinds of products since he was young to earn his own pocket money. As mentioned by Farah just now, Mark has been selling garbage bags to save up for a pair of shoes that he liked And due to the experiences in his childhood, Mark grew up to be an entrepreneur that has been involved in many different industries. This means that he is not afraid to try new things in order to enhance his entrepreneurial performance. Not being not afraid to try new things is also a trait of a person with an internal locus of control. And another example is that Mark's initial business is a software company which he sold later on, and he has also bought many sports teams. One of the most famous teams under his name is the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA. So, to conclude, everything mentioned is evidence as to why Mark Cuban is a person with an internal locus of control, as he believes in himself and that he has the power to change his own future. That is all for my part, and
now I will give word to my next group mate. Thank you.
Hi, it's me again. So I'll be elaborating on the conclusion. As a whole, Mark Cuban is a highly charismatic leader with a drive to achieve in whatever career he may dabble in. He has a very obvious type A personality, complemented with a strong internal locus of control. According to the Big Five test, he has high extroversion, low agreeableness, low conscientiousness, low neuroticism, and high openness to experience. However, he does not project a positive image during the Maverick games, as he was unable to control his aggressive outbursts multiple times. Although he is a highly motivated person, he does have his flaws. This unnatural set of personality domains has helped him be the person he is today, making him one of the world's richest billionaires.
I just had a question. If you wanted to characterize the style of leadership, since we covered the topic on leadership, so I thought to ask, if you were to characterize Mark Cuban as a leader, which of the theories that we've learned so far would probably characterize him? Because you said now that he acts very differently when he goes on that basketball court, and that's probably a side of him that all of us probably don't want to see. Whereas when he is in a different situation, it seems like he changes. So I guess my question is, what kind of leadership do you think he has? I mean, given the fact he's so successful and being someone that we all look up toward.
So do we answer this as a group or individually?
It's up to you. Somebody can jump in.
I guess we can answer it individually, just really fast. The factor that jumps up to me, sorry, I put it on my camera. The factor that jumps up to
okay.
me that characterizes him as the leader should be the type A personality, because everything else mentioned in, like, other than the internal locus of control, that's more so his own personality. I think it should be type A personality, the motivation, the passion that drives him to be a leader. But you know, sometimes passion can go too far and it can turn into aggression. So
yeah,
I would say type A is the deciding factor here.
Right. So for me, I think he's the charismatic type of leader because he has
charismatic. Okay.
yeah, he has the charisma that he always protects his own team, his own family. That although outsider see him as very aggressive, but if you get to know him, he's a very good person and he's a very good leader. All right, I think that's it. That is my explanation.